Hey everyone, and thanks for watching another When I Grow Up Wednesday. Today's going to be our wrap-up of this When I Grow Up Wednesday video series. And though we've explored several careers, we know there are plenty left out there that you as a 4-H'er may want to be a part of one day. But before we can get to that dream career, we know there's several steps that we need to take. And so we at the Extension Office wanted to help provide you some key steps to success, no matter what future career you're hoping to go into.
So the advice I would give to a young person going into their career is to get out and meet as many people in your field as you can, whether that's through volunteering or taking an internship, even if it's an unpaid internship. Really, the more people that you can know, the better off you're going to be. It really is, in a lot of cases, who you know that will get your foot in the door. That doesn't determine if you're going to be successful or not, but it will a lot of times get your foot in the door of that first job early on in your career. Once you get that first job, even if it's not where you ultimately want to wind up, if you work hard, if you do the things that don't necessarily require the most talent, you may not be the smartest person in your class, you may not have been the valedictorian, you may not necessarily be even the most talented, but if you work hard, if you show up to work on time, if you have a good attitude, if you're coachable, that's going to separate you. Those are the things that are going to get you noticed and hopefully allow you to progress through your career.
No matter if you are hoping to go straight from high school into a career or if you're pursuing your college education, it's really important that you are a well-rounded individual. Both colleges and employers are going to look for things like your academics, community service and involvement, and your extracurricular activities. When we think about academics, we think about good grades, which is of course important. You want to especially concentrate on those classes that are going to be helpful to you in your major or in your future career. So if you are hoping to be a nurse one day, really concentrate on those science classes and get the most that you can out of them. But we also know that academics, grades, ACT scores, those aren't everything. Colleges are also looking to see what you did outside of your school hours. So maybe you were in 4-H or FFA, maybe you were in band or played a sport. All of those things show that you are able to balance and juggle multiple activities while still being dedicated, committed, and hardworking to academics and extracurriculars. Make sure you keep a good record of these extracurriculars so you can clearly show them on your resume and application. So keep a running total of all the things you do as far as clubs go. We also look at things like community service. Are you involved in the community? Do you give back to the place you live? 4-H offers some great ways to do that through our community club, whether we're baking cookies for our EMS, cleaning up litter around Crump Paris Park, or donating items to the Pregnancy Help Center. All these things show that we are in tune with our community and want to give back. So thinking about all these is important when applying for college, scholarships, or your next job. So think about those things along with the academics.
I'd like to talk about professional dress because lots of times that's the first thing a potential employer will notice when you're meeting them. So I'll start out with women. We're women. I always try to do a business professional. There's also business casual, but I like to be overdressed for an interview. So you want to make sure that if you have long hair, you have it held back or it's out of your face. If you're wearing a suit, you want to make sure it's a neutral color, such as black or gray or brown. You want to make sure that your blouse under your suit is a muted color or white. And if you're wearing a shirt or blouse with just pants, then you want to make sure that blouse covers your shoulder. For pants, you want to make sure that they're full length. You don't want to have capris or cropped pants. You can also do a skirt. You want to just make sure that skirt hits your knees, as well as if you're wearing a dress, you want to make sure that hits your knees as well. And I always like to tie it in with stockings just to give it a little bit more of a finished look. For shoes, you want to make sure that they're closed-toe shoes. You can wear flats or heels. You just want to make sure that your heels are low to the ground, so about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. For men, business professional, again, you can do a suit as well. You want to make sure that suit is a neutral color, not a bright color. You can have a little pattern such as pinstripes, but you don't want to get too busy with your pattern. For the shirt underneath, again, you want to make sure that it's white or muted, and you want to make sure that the length of your sleeve is 1 inch or ½ inch below your suit length, arm length. For pants, again, you just want to make sure that they match the suit and are a neutral color. And for your shoes, you want to wear dress shoes, and usually those are leather. And you want to make sure that your socks match the rest of your outfit. So usually dark socks are a good option. And again, that's what I would suggest for a business professional going into interviews. And it's always a good idea as well to pick out clothes for the actual job. So sometimes those jobs require in-services or other business meetings, and you can also go business casual. So that's just a little bit more casual. So for a lady, that might include a cardigan instead of a blazer. And for men, that might include khaki pants instead of dress pants, and not having a tie. You also want to have a tie in those business professionals, and you want to make sure that the tie hits the belt on the length. If you have any questions about business professional dress, be sure to contact the extension office.
So one thing that I want to talk about is when you're preparing to apply for a job or even to college, you want to make sure that all of your application materials are in order and free of grammar errors. So you want to make sure to have somebody else look at your resume and at those application materials. Maybe it's an essay or a cover letter. Just always have a second set of eyes on those materials so that you can make sure there's no grammar errors, because if there is an error, that's something that can immediately disqualify you when there's 60 other applicants. You want to make sure everything is in order. And another thing that you can do when you get ready to submit your resume or when you turn in your application, it's always a good idea to make a personal connection with your potential employer. If that's a quick phone call saying, hey, I put my name in the hat, this is who I am and a little bit about me, you could send them a quick friendly email just letting them know, or even you could ask your references or people that know you and can speak to your skills and experiences to call that employer and put in a good word for you, because that can really make you stand out when it gets down to just a few, when the employer is making that decision as to who to pick. That will make you stand out and make them remember who you are.
Over this summer, we have been able to explore so many different jobs and careers found right here in Smith County. Maybe a couple have sparked your interest and you have found your dream career. If so, we want you to know that we are always here for you to help, whether that be with extracurricular activities, tips on dress, resume writing, or interview skills. UT Extension is here to help you. So feel free to contact us at 615-735-2900, or you can email me at kclark54@utk.edu. Thanks so much for watching.